Unexplained with Howard Hughes on Talk Radio.
Hair-raising paranormality in the midnight hour coming right up here. From you, let's get to Kyoto, Japan, and Philip is there, regular listener to the Unexplained, has written his own books about strange, weird stuff happening in Japan. Philip, what time is it there in Kyoto now?
Good evening, Howard. It's just coming up to 8 o'clock in the morning here.
Wow, well, thank you for getting up early to do this, Philip. Your story is when you were back here in the UK, well before you moved to Japan, and it's from the East Midlands, so I'm going to let you tell it.
Yeah, sure. There's a couple of stories there. I don't think we've got time for both of the ones that I mentioned to you, but this was in North Lincolnshire. I grew up in a village called Gunness, which is just outside of the town of Scunthorpe. And this goes back to about 1983, 84, and I was about 12 years old at the time. And secondary school, I was off sick from school, so I was at home with my mother. So I was a witness to this as well. And the village of Gunness is surrounded by farm fields, and then beyond that is the River Trent, which leads on to the River Humber. We were looking outside the living room, the front window of our house for whatever reason, I don't recall. And directly opposite, there's another house across the street, and then there was a gap where you could see across the fields and over to the river. And as I say, we were looking out that direction, and we both saw this black circular object. I couldn't tell if it was spherical or whether it was just circular, but it wasn't moving, not going up or down, left or right. It was just hovering there, quite high off the ground. And judging by where it was, it looked to be maybe a few hundred meters away over the river. And the reason we were able to judge this distance, not far away is RAF Scampton. So on a daily basis, we would have jet fighters doing low-flying maneuver practice over the River Trent and coming over the house. So we could judge the distances based on those planes coming over. And also the size. So it's probably about the size of a small plane as well. But what was distinctive as well, there was absolutely no sound, whereas the aircraft that come from RAF Scampton at the time, you would hear them. It was so loud, they'd be coming over the house so close that you could wave to the pilot. But this object had absolutely no sound, and it was just hovering there. We watched it for a short while, and then it just sped off. Just so fast, it was just a blur. Couldn't even tell which direction it went off in.
So what do you think it was then?
I've absolutely no idea, Howard. I'm 100% sure it was nothing from RAF Scampton. And as I say, it was just hovering there. No explanation at all as to what it was. And as I say, my mother saw the same thing. We both saw the same thing. And we were both totally baffled by what it could be.
What a strange story. There have been many stories from the East Midlands. And then if you look down, of course, if you want to go further south from there, you've got Rendlesham Forest and many reports of those sorts of things. So thank you for sharing that. Now, listen, I know that you compile books about strange stuff in Japan. I think you've got a new one coming out, haven't you?
Yeah, I when we spoke earlier in the year, it was up to Volume 3. And shortly after that, I put out Volume 4. And then during the sort of state of emergency time, obviously I haven't been able to get out to go to any new sites. I put together an Omnibus edition, compiling all 4 volumes, adding extra photographs and extra information. And that came out recently. That's available from all regions of Amazon and ebook or paperback.
All right, you've got 40 seconds. Just give me the weirdest story in that compendium. Just tell me what it's about.
There's quite a few. I think I'd have to go to one of the ghost stories, probably the Kawabata Dori taxi ghost, which I think we spoke about before, where the taxi driver picked up a girl from a station, drove her down to the outskirts of Kyoto, and when he turned to collect his fare, there was nobody in the back seat of the taxi.
The disappearing passenger.
Yeah.
Gee. Hey, listen, Philip, lovely to speak with you. Have a lovely Monday. Your Monday's started already. The phone line is not great. I think there's some problem with the audio. Don't know what it is, but next time we speak, we'll speak on something digital. Philip in Kyoto, Japan. If you want to go through back my archive of The Unexplained, go to theunexplained.tv. You'll find a whole show with Philip done in proper digital quality where he talks about some of the remarkable and untold or unheard in this country stories from Japan. There are some great stories.
The Unexplained with Howard Hughes on Talk Radio.